it's almost over. I ain't gonna let it pull me under, but I will conquer. Some days I can't move forward. I'm not gonna let it push me over, but I will conquer. It ain't easy, but it's almost over. This heart was made to wander, but I will conquer. But it ain't easy, but it's almost over. I ain't gonna let it pull me under.
Hello and a very good evening to all our viewers. You're locked on Sri Lanka's #1 sports hub, the ThePapare.com, as we bring you live action from this crucial game in this Dialogue Rugby League. CHNFC hosting Havelock Sports Club here in the picturesque racecourse grounds in Colombo. I think this game has had its turn of events. I think Havelock Sports Club are the current leaders if you don't take yesterday's game as well, and they have come on top after that defeat to Kandy by CHNFC. So that's going to be an interesting clash, and this will decide who takes the top position going in to the 13th, 14th and final week of the Dialogue Rugby League. There you go on your screens is the clash we have for the day. Havelock Sports Club coming here to Racecourse Grounds, Colombo, to face the ever magnificent CHNFC side, because CHNFC has been a side that has had revolution in this second round. Unfortunately, they lost out in that first few games, lost crucial victories to CHNFC. In fact, lost to Havelock Sports Club. Then they came around and lost that close game to CRNFC as well. Very unfortunate. But then the tide has turned, and CHNFC are a superweight here, superpower in this Dialogue Rugby League in the second round, winning 7 games on the trot, and they've actually been a revelation. So that's why this game is important. And to talk you through this, I have with me Sabir Kaad. Sabir, very good evening to you. What are your predictions for the game?
Good evening, Inshaf. Like you said, the stats don't lie, and 7 games in a row. After that disappointing first 3 games in that first round, CHNFC certainly bounced back. They have done their homework according to their plan, and what an achievement that is to make that 7 win in a row. But having said that, Havelocks, you cannot underestimate. They want to regain their top spot, which they got last week after that Candice loss against CHNFC in this very own ground. So it's going to be a crucial game, but we see that Dinu Kamarasinghe, the star player, is missing. That's going to be a heavy blow for Havelocks, the men in pink. So we were expecting that clash between Dinuk and Gowda. We'll talk about that, but I think still Havelock has that potential, and they also have some little bench strength to come in.
There you go, that is the early prediction, but clearly Dinu Kamarasinghe's loss is going to affect Havelock's post-up because their play is woven around this young lad, Dinu Kamarasinghe from Candice St. Anthony's College. But before that, we'll take a quick look at the conditions. Yesterday also the conditions were not at all good. It has changed from what it was earlier on. It was mild, but now that humidity has topped up and the temperature here at the Colombo Racecourse is clearly not favouring any of the rugby playing as well. 27 degrees is what the prediction says, but it's going to be a lot hotter when it comes to the 4:30 kickoff.
Absolutely, but CHNFC knows this condition. They have been training week in, week out, day out, so it's not going to be a big task for them, but it's all about how they play the last quarter. You know, Inshaf, because it's going to be a fatigue factor, because it's going to be some physical contact. Especially good to see Lasin Dushan is coming back to after that red card incident. I'm not really happy with that 2 weeks ban. It has to be at least minimum of 4. The punch is clearly not allowed. But having said that, Coach Martis and his team will take this, and we are going to see a top tight 8 or the tight 5 and a loose forward battle without a doubt.
A lot of battles coming up. Lasin Vishan and Nivanga Prasad combining. It will be very interesting to see how these two players combine and play. There you go, that's the weather update for you. Partly cloudy is the prediction, and the temperature stands at 27 degrees, but it's going to be a lot more hotter in this racecourse ground. So expect a lot of wind, so it's going to affect the two kickers, Samuel Madhuwanta and Risa Mubarak. Risa Mubarak has had a successful stint in the last few games, but we have a lot to talk about Samuel Madhuwanta as well. We'll talk you through that in the coming few minutes as well. But a lot to talk about, a lot of intense action coming to you from the Colombo Racecourse. Expect the two forward lines. Lasin Dushan leading that Havelock Sports Club side, along with senior man Dushman the Priyadarshana, who has been a revelation in this Dialogue Rugby League. What a player he has been. And then on the other side we have Sudarshan Mudutantri, the Sri Lanka national captain, the Sevens captain, along with Nivanga Prasad and Kalindukare Vasam and experienced lad Sajid Saranga leading this CHNFC side. So a lot of action coming to you lined up. We'll take a quick commercial break, and when we come back, we'll have a lot to talk about this encounter. You're on ThePapare.com. Stay tuned for more action.
Crescent Mini Keeves. Try it. Love it. The original Mini Keeves, only from Crescent. Crunchy munchy.
Fiery Kochi.
Crescent Kochi Bites. Try it. Love it. The original Kochi Bites only from Crescent.
Sophisticated selection of Yardley, London.
Get with the global Pulsar mania now and upgrade to the new and improved Pulsar 200 NS from David Peary's Motor Company Private Limited.
අපේ ගෙදර හැමෝටම ඉන්ටර්නෙට් ඕනේ. මොබිටෙල් වයිෆයි රවුටරේ නිසා ගෙදරේදී කිසි ප්‍රශ්නයක් නැහැ. අපි වෙන වෙනම ඉන්ටර්නෙට් ගියත් පැකේජ් එක එකයි. ඒත් ගෙදරින් එළියට ගියාම හැමෝටම පැකේජ් එක අරන් යන්න පුළුවන්ද? Hey Barry, මොබිටෙල් වයිෆයි ප්ලස් පැකේජ් එක තියෙන්නේ. ලංකාවේ කොහේ ගියත් රවුටරේ ගෙදර තියෙද්දි ගෙදර හැමෝටම එකම පැකේජ් එකෙන් වෙන වෙනම ඉන්ටර්නෙට් යන්න පුළුවන් එකම ක්‍රමය. මොබිටෙල් වයිෆයි ප්ලස් විතරයි. ඒ විතරක් නෙමෙයි. එක බිලයි, connections ගොඩයි.
Six Nations 2019. Catch these formidable foes going head-to-head. On 9 Saturday, Scotland take on Ireland at 7:45 p.m. On 9 Saturdays, Italy host Wales at 10:15 p.m. And on 10th Sunday, England beat France at 8:30 p.m. Live and exclusive on Dialogue Now, channel number 1.
Niloshi!
Ravindu hoya?
ජීවිතේ leasing, දවසින් leasing, NDB leasing.
And when its essence is premium cocoa butter, it's not just chocolate, it's Ravello. Chocolate so special, you call it Ravello.
Okay, she's ready.
Yes, I'm ready.
Impressive CV. But why do you want to work here?
Is your unlimited package limiting you? Be really unlimited with the largest network. Talk unlimited with more than 13 million Sri Lankans with Dialogue. Dialogue Blaster Unlimited. A range of monthly plans starting from 777 rupees. Dial hash 678 hash to convert your package or get a new connection.
It's always been my dream to be a part of a blue chip company.
It ain't easy, but it's almost over. Ain't gonna let it pull me under.
Welcome back to Live Action. You're with Sri Lanka's #1 sports hub, and we are counting our time through the kickoff of the CHNFC versus Havelock Sports Club encounter. It has been a crucial 12 weeks of action service so far. Equally, teams making a comeback. Army Sports Club and Police also making an impact in that Dialogue Rugby League. Yesterday's game ended up in a very disappointing draw for both sides. Police and Army Sports Club 24 is how that stood at the end of the day. But yesterday's game, the key game for yesterday was the CRNFC versus Candy Clash. CR very unlucky to lose out on a victory, so that has taken a big toll on the points table. We'll take a look at the points table as well very shortly, and that's how the points table stands as well. Sabir, CHNFC in third place. You think they could improve on their rankings?
Yeah, as you see your points table, Inshaf, I'm sure that they need to win this encounter, especially today, in order to go that or keep that title hopes. But Havelocks, on the other hand, they want to go back to win this game because they were in that points table on the top after so long time that we have seen this Dialogue Rugby League because Candy was so dominant. So it's all about them winning this encounter. But CHNFC, I'm sure they are used to this ground condition like we talked before, and also 7 games on a trot. It's not easy, but it'll come to that special game, how they manage those 60 minutes to 80 minutes. That's where you're going to be decide the win and lose. But like you said, CRNFC, quite a disappointment. That could have been an epic comeback win we have witnessed in Sri Lankan rugby because Candy 28 points leading from that 20 minutes with a bonus point, right? So Sia, they never had that chance, but coming back strongly. They had all the opportunities. Nothing but blame themselves to making all these unforced silly errors. So you can count those numbers when you go into contact. Not only CRNFC, we have witnessed so many teams, Army doing that, Navy doing that, so as Air Force, and also Candy. When they go into contact, that's a cardinal error. It's maybe not the technique that you go, perhaps also the grounding, whether you are going in the correct technique and placing the ball. And also, you have to give due credits to the defender, if you're making the tackle, you are bringing your right arm or the left arm with the force. So that's a clever tactic as well.
There you go. That was how that game ended. Very unfortunate. CRMC will be kicking themselves for that disappointment. And then we'll take a quick look at how the top try and point scorer tally stands. That yesterday's games have made Tilna Vijay Singh come up on the points tables list. Sabir, 152 points for him after that 11-point contribution from him last week, yesterday in fact. And then Samuel Madhuanta with 150 points will be definitely wanting to go on top of Tilna Vijay Singh at the end of the day.
I'm sure Samuel Madhuanta is just going to pass that Tilna's marks or the points in shove, because just a matter of another penalty or a drop goal today. So it's not going to be easy for Danushka Ranjan, because we saw him playing out of position, mostly on the wing 3 position, because he's not really 100%. Maybe he's 50 to 60%, but Candy didn't have an option but opt him as to play on that game, which is a crucial game at the end.
So there you go. That was how Tilna Vijay Singh and Candy Sports Club played yesterday. But going back, Sabir, talking about that first round clash, we remember Havelock Sports Club winning that game in the last minute after Anuradha Herat scored those 2 valuable tries from the forwards. I think he joined the forwards and then scored those tries, but unfortunately Havelock Sports Club came up victorious.
It's going to be a territorial battle, especially here. We'll look at these highlights. Like you said,
I think Sabir, Anuradha Herat, I think that was when he peaked up to his level. I think you remember tries that he scored by joining inside the forward line, pushed the forwards through and scored that one. And then there came Havelock Sports Club fighting back. I think these were the game is won and lost. Sabir, Havelock Sports Club winning this game in the final few minutes. I remember Mohammad Sashan putting in that chip kick that found Havelock Sports Club to score that one. So that was the changing game. Samuel Madhuanta, you got to give it to that lad, scoring those points, those 55-meter penalties, and he has made a revelation for CHNFC.
Absolutely. Again, today he's going to be a vital cog, partnering along with Adam Gowda in that centre combination. 13 versus 16, that half-time score. CHNFC leading, like you said, but it was too little too late for them to come back in that second half. Madhuanta, again, rock solid. So as Riza Mubarak. He's nailing those penalties and conversion from difficult angle. But also I like the fact how well Chamar Dabare has improved a little better than what he was in the last season. And also Anuradha Herat versus Dabare. Also good to see Sandun Herat. He came from nowhere after those injuries ruled him out from national colours. But he's adding those crucial meters where Havelock's need. But Underlights is a different condition. And this man on your screen, Dinu Kamar Singh, unfortunate Havelocks, they are not having him today.
Dinu Kamar Singh, I think, made a revelation in that police game. I think he has had the best season. I think if you could give an award for the most emerging player of this Dialogue Rugby League, I think Dinu Kamar Singh should be getting that award single-handedly. I think the effort that he has put in to come up these ranks, I think last year he was in that Havelock Sports Club side, but it was not Coach Shanath Martin's first choice for inside centre, but this year he has put his hand up from that Asia 7 series. I think Dinu Kamar Singh has been beyond par.
Wonderful prospect he is. We have see how menacing he is in terms of his attack, and also those Sunny Bill type offloads were absolutely sensational to watch, especially in that first round game against CRNFC. With his first touch, we saw how he offloaded to Aryapal. Unfortunately, we don't see Aryapal also in these colours, but Havelocks will feel him. Randy Silva is the guy who's replaced by Coach Martin. So it's going to be a real 12-13 combination for Havelocks. They haven't played together. On the other hand, Havelocks or CHNFC rather have played ThePapare and Gowda along. So that's going to be a crucial factor in terms of games win and loss.
Exactly. I think Adam Gowda and ThePapare have been gelled together very well. So ever since Gowda's inclusion in that CHNFC side, I think he has been a revelation for the CHNFC side. I think, mind you, he also is available for national selection as well. He has his birthright origins that makes him qualify for Sri Lanka national team as well. So a lot of prospect from Adam Gowda. But meanwhile, problems for Havelock Sports Club this time around. I find their combinations not going to work according to what they used to do. But interestingly, Mithun Hapugoda has been added to the lineup. We'll talk about that later, but take a look at this clip from Samuel Madhuanta Sabir. 150 points in his second season as first 5/8 for the CHNFC side.
Not really first 5/8. He's been playing that utility role. Captain Rajapaksa coming in that outside half position, but he's been a player wherever, no matter whatever the coach asks you to do, he will deliver. And whenever he comes to that first receiver, it's interesting how he managed this game in shot, because the width at the racecourse grounds, we know that it's huge. And every time CHNFC gets a penalty in the opposite territory, they are getting that free hit to make that count, putting those territorial kick or a cross kick. We also saw that Niroshan Fernando also doing that when the Havelocks gets that advantage, putting that cross kick, because it's a free hit, and why not try something out from Sandun Nahirath or Chamar Dabare in the sidelines.
Exactly, so wonderful prospect for Samuel Madhuanta as well. Expecting a lot of kicks from him, and taking a look at how CS have performed. They played 12, won 8 and lost 4. 7 of their victories coming in back-to-back succession. Last week they defeated Kandy. That's a very humongous achievement as well. Tick Spock, and also then moving on to Havelock Sports Club. I think very fortunate enough to be on top of that table, but they know their work is not done, Sabir. They have won all the games. They've won more games than Kandy, but they'll be facing Havelock. They'll be facing Kandy Sports Club in that final week.
Oh yes, that's a mouth-watering clash. But to go to that Inshaf, they have to make the win to count those 5 points, maybe with a bonus point, who knows. But it's a long 80 minutes game. We haven't mentioned about how well our forwards played, especially CHNFC's those old dogs, Satya Ranatunga and Sajid Sarang. The combination was outstanding. So as Dushmanta Priyadarshana and Liston Flatney, they were really unsung heroes for these Havelocks. But look for the youngsters, Madhushan in the lock combination, also Shaukat Lahir for Havelocks. Those are the players who can really make a difference on that given particular day. And also on the other hand, CHNFC, Sasanka Ariratna, wherever he comes off the bench, at least even if we play 20 minutes, it's going to be a crucial 20 minutes.
So there you go, Sabir Boatu in his predictions also predicted Havelock Sports Club, CHNFC to have the upper hand. Final thoughts going in to this game, final thoughts, final predictions before we hand over to commentary.
That's a tough question, Inshaf, you know, but I think giving the fact that Havelocks are not playing with their usual centre combination, but they have in the likes of Sandesh Jayavikrama and also Tikshana Dasanayaka, he can be menacing. I would prefer him starting along with Rehan Silla, 2 youngsters taking on, but I still say Havelocks would maybe go in with a 2 points or 3 points victory.
So there you go, that is the prediction from the sideline. So we'll join you with Shana Kamar Singh and Abdullah Yusuf at the commentary box, talk you through the team cards.
Very good evening and welcome to the CHNFC home grounds, which is the race course, where they will be hosting the Havelocks, who are hoping to go top of the table for the second week in a row. It's been a topsy-turvy second round in this Dialogue Rugby League as we bring you action from this wonderful stadium as the sun beats down, and a scorching sun, I must add, beats down on this venue. I don't know whether it's going to be any factor on the quality of rugby that we see today, because the teams are going to be properly fagged out the way that they line up. These are the teams for you, and we have CHNFC with Satya Ranatunga, Prasad Madhushanka, Dimal Jayasinghe, the new face in that front row. Satya Ranatunga, look for him to make a real impact today. Sajid Saranga, the experience, and Mathis Sarachandra, the youngster, combining well this season, with Sarachandra outstanding at number 2 in the lineouts. Then we have the experience, Sudarshana Mudutantri, with Chatra Dilshan coming into number 8 in the absence of Yoshita Rajapaksa, and Nivanka Prasad shifted to the blindside flank. What a destroyer he has been from that blindside flank position, really coming into his own this season. And these 2 men also will be very important. Sudham Suryarachi probably being the form halfback of the tournament so far, and Rohita Rajapaksa will be looking to set his outside backs free today as he plays in the pivotal role of fly half. A man who has come into his own again in this second half has been Hiranta Pereira. He will be joined by Adam Gowder, who has brought tremendous stability and defensive presence to that CHNFC midfield, and you could say that he is the one who has turned, not single-handedly, but helped turn around the fortunes of the CH team from the first half. Nishan Pereira, Samuel Madhuanta and Avishkali are the men who man that back three. Look for Samuel Madhuanta to come in at first receiver much more often than usual, and Nishan Pereira has been a dangerous finisher. Navin Henakankanam again not making it onto the park today, but Avishkali, there's no shortage of pace and no shortage of talents or heart in that back three. Dushmanta Priyadarshana, the experienced Havelocks as former skipper Azmir Fajuddin and Liston Fatney make a big front row today for Havelocks, and how they go will be very interesting. Umesh Madhusanka and Situm Piris in the second row, and coming up in the third row we will have Senal Dilaka, Lasindu Karunathilaka returns from his ban, and Shaukat Lahir has been outstanding on the open side as well. Mithun Hapugoda and Niroshan Fernando, the experienced halfback combination. Mithun Hapugoda has been dishing out some magic in that number 9 jersey. He'll be tested today against Surya Rachi, and Prince Chamara in the number 12 jersey, unfamiliar name there, as Dinu Kamarasinghe is out injured. Randy Silva also a new midfield for Havelocks today. In their back three, the dangerous Chamara Dabare scored last week. Sandun Herath has been back in a little bit of form, and the rock-like presence of Riza Mubarak will be very, very important for the Heavies' young team today in front of him. These are the benches: Pulasi Dasanayaka, Jason Melder, Khalidu Karyawasim, Lakshita, Aryaratna, Avantali, Kushan Indunil and Ashan De Costa, with Faiz Abdullah, Rahul Jalpachitra, Dayan Sabha, Dilanka Pereira, Chanaka Bandar, Vimukti Rahul, Sandesh Javikrama and Theekshana Dasanayaka for Havelocks. We'll be back after the commercial break.
This match is brought to you by EFL, proud sponsor of the Sri Lanka Rugby Referees and Havelock Sports Club.
What a game it's going to be today as the CHNFC take on Havelocks from the racecourse. It's going to be an outstanding encounter, that's for sure. If yesterday's matches are anything to go by, this man will be someone who needs to make a few decisions on the field today. The newly married Rohit Rajapaksa taking on, of course, this big Havelocks team who will be aiming to keep their place at the top of the table, a top position that Kandy have relinquished after a long time. Abdullah Yusuf.
Yes, good afternoon, Shana. Good afternoon, everyone. We are in for a very exciting game today as we have a look at the match officials. Lawrence Wilkinson, I thought, handled yesterday's game between Kandy and CR extremely well. He'll be supported today by Anil Mangal and Kamil Haji, the assistant referees. Yes, it's going to be an extremely interesting encounter. The game between the number 2 seeds and the number 3 seeds in the league table, and I'm sure both teams will want to try and win this game. They've already qualified for the top 4 position as we get ready for Samuel Madhuanta to start proceedings.
Madhuanta kicks off, and what a revelation he has been this season so far, as Havelocks take it through. Lashindu Ishan Karunathilaka returning from his 3-match ban for a punch in the Havelocks vs CR encounter. Dushmanta Priyadarshana makes early yards, will be wanting to impose himself, as will this man Liston Flatney with the back of the hand out offload. Little step coming in from Prince Chamara that time. Havelocks will be severely affected by the absence of Dinu Kamarasinghe as they cough the ball up in the first couple of exchanges. And here's where the game will go a long way into being decided, don't you think, Abdullah, with these 2 big packs, 2 experienced front rows coming up against each other?
Yes, that's right as well. As well as their technique will definitely be tested today as well, because we saw in yesterday's game as well, the referee Wilkinson was very strict in terms of engaging and how they drove the scrum. He'll be very clear that he'll want the front rows to stay square as much as possible. So I'm sure they would have been both front rows, if they had watched yesterday's game, would have been very aware of what the referee wants. So it'll be interesting to see how this scrum goes.
First scrum of the match always very important for those 2 forward backs, just to get a bit of confidence going. And you can see there that referee has his hand up for advantage for a first scrum penalty as Adam Gowda takes the ball forward. And no advantage, as the referee will come back for a penalty, is it? Yes, it looks like it is a penalty, and let's see what his signal is. Going in at the angle, says the referee. So this is where the dark arts that Liston Flatney and Dushmanta Priyadarshana have been practicing for a while will come under a lot of focus. And it's the same thing going to be for Satya Herath, and maybe Henry Terrence is not on the bench, but Satya Ranatunga as well. When he's on the attacking side, we'll need to be careful also. So Samuel Madhuanta steps up, and the way this man has been playing, Abdullah, you'd have to say this is a guaranteed 3 points.
Yes, it's well within his range. The angle is not too acute as well, so he definitely should not have much problems in giving Havelock the first points.
The Papare band stops to respect the kicker, and Samuel Madhuwantha smacks this one, smacks it long and hard, and it's over as usual. He's much more used to seeing the flags go up than staying down when it comes off his boot, Samuel Madhuwantha. So the evening's the season's top scorer. If you heard the explosions going off, we are all okay. Those were firecrackers. Lovely strike, head nicely over the ball, following through. It's the stuff that coaches dream of. As Riza Mubarak gets us underway with the restart. Havelock's managing to pick up that bouncing ball, and a nice little offload to Karuna Tilaka once again. Dushmantha Priyadarshana is with him. Azmir Fajuddin acts as halfback. Long looping pass to Niroshan Fernando, who has no option but to take it to the line.
Advantage, no clear release.
Hapugoda.
No clear release.
Once again, the penalty is coming. So the referee very strict and very quickly too. Mithun Hapugoda takes it and goes towards the try line. Those dancing feet brought down just 3 meters short, and Dushmantha Priyadarshana is over. Right. And no sooner CHNFC scored on the other end that Mithun Hapugoda injected that flash of brilliance. And just like we talked about before kickoff, that magic has worked wonders again for Havelock as Dushmantha Priyadarshana crashed over.
Yes, from that kind of distance, you're not going to stop this man. He's been at the heart of everything good that Havelock have done this year. As we have a look at that replay, Hapugoda taking the kick, taking it into contact, Lahir there to clear out, and then some wonderful body position. You have to wonder where the Havelock's, rather the CHNFC's fringe defense was pretty much non-existent. And with that, Havelocks have struck back immediately and have taken the lead. And you'd expect Mubarak to not have much difficulty with this conversion.
Riza Mubarak straight and true as usual again. We have the battle of Sri Lanka's best two place kickers going on as a mini battle in addition to the CHNFC versus Havelock's clash. This is for second and third position to consolidate second or third position, Abdullah. So it's going to be very interesting because I don't think whoever wins this game that there will be a huge amount of difference in their table standings. Havelocks could stay top, which means they avoid playing CHNFC again, and they will come up against CRNFC in the super round if that is how it stays. So there is something at stake here. Niroshan Fernando wants to remain calm from the restart. Thumps it way down the pitch, and Rohit Rajapaksa is acting as the number 8 there as well. Here's his former schoolmate, Sudarshana Mudutantri. Adam Gowda leaves the ball behind. Uncharacteristic mistake from the Australian domiciled Sri Lankan. Chase coming in from Chamara Dabare and Riza Mubarak as Mubarak does well to bring down Samuel Madhuwantha. Does even better not to concede the penalty. And CH get back, but the counter ruck is strong from Havelocks.
Move.
Big drive from Sajid Saranga there. Important yards gained.
Stay.
And Madhuwantha will find the safety of the touchline. And that was scary stuff. A nice little chip put over. And a good chase coming from none other than the old man himself, Riza Mubarak.
Then the rest are on you, okay?
Yes, there was good vision by Hapugoda as well. He saw the space behind, the ball was turned over, and a good flat ranging kick. And the good thing about that kick was the chase. Havelocks definitely had numbers there to put enough pressure on Madhuwantha. And they've just managed to get a line out just outside the 25. Another crucial area of today's game.
Situmpiri spins nicely in the middle of that line out and look to set up that driving maul just outside the 22. Trying to make their way into the danger area. Here's Azmir Fajuddin breaking away. So the maul is well and truly over, and now this is open play once again. Liston Flatney takes it up, brought down by Sarat Chandra. Here's the try scorer, Dushmanta Priyadarshana, spinning out of a tackle, leaving Hiranta Pereira and Rohit Rajapaksa
Advantage,
behind.
no clear release.
Mithun Hapugoda looks for some quick
got the
ball.
advantage,
Niroshan
nine.
Fernando takes it standing, throws it long. It's a beautiful pass, but Sandun Herath just slips as he collects it.
New advantage, offside.
Niroshan Fernando is really well to take that ball in and keep his feet, and Mithun Hapugoda takes it quickly once again, and that would have been a yellow card if Sudham Suryarachi had not retreated 10 feet, let alone 10 meters. And it was deliberate, so the referee may have a word with him about it as well.
Captain.
So the penalty won by Havelock.
Player here doesn't need to come in and do that. Have a talk to him so he can stay on the field. I'll stop time for now. Okay, you have a penalty here. Okay, for offside, you've got a penalty
So
over
nothing
there
in
as
it.
well.
Referee says that
time's on.
just gives a little bit of a warning.
Offside.
So it looks like Niroshan Fernando will be going for touch. Havelock's laying down a marker that they're going to pressurize this CH defense earlier on.
Okay.
As we have a look at that once again. Penalized for not staying on his
The
feet.
line's the mark. Step out.
That was a pretty meaningless challenge by Sudham Suryarachi. Bit lucky to get away with that. Either clean collection by Situn Peris, and they're going to really test this defense of Havelock's.
And the try is there again. Referee Lawrence Wilkinson is well positioned to spot Dushmanta Priyadarshana, or in fact it's Asmir Fajruddin. He comes away with the ball. So the two front rowers have got tries, the number 1 and the number 2. And Liston Flatney may be thinking he's next. That's interesting celebration. Not always the most gainful when you see the prop and the hooker doing it together, but I think we're okay with that because it was a wonderfully constructed try. Good continuity from Havelocks and nicely won by Situn Peris again. Good movement in the line out, not unnecessary movement, but just good decisive movement to come into the jumping position, and the lifters do well to take him up, and that catch is what creates the platform for that driving maul, and you can see how happy Fajruddin is, and CHNFC will do well to recover from this. And it's not just less than 24 hours ago, Abdullah, it was CRNFC who were down 28 points to 3 at the end of the first quarter, and they came back and made it a storming game. So CHNFC should certainly pull their socks up here.
Yes, they most definitely should, as we have a look at Mubarak getting ready to take the conversion. Strikes it well, but just goes wide of the right upright. Yes, the little bit that we have seen so far, Shanaka, CH definitely seem to be quite loose in terms of their defense. They really need to tighten up a bit. You can see that Havelocks are a very well drilled team. They know exactly what they need to do in each situation of the ground. So CH just have got to tighten up in terms of their defense, in terms of their organization, in terms of their communication. If not, it's this Havelocks team is just going to make them pay. And the good thing about this Havelocks team is they just do the basics correctly. They don't do anything fancy. Just keep it tight. And they've just executed well thus far in this game.
Well, they've realized what they need to do to try and beat the CHNFC team, who have been the form team of the second round. They have won some big wins, and last week convincingly put Kandy to bed at this same venue. And again, we have Mithun Hapugoda with that box kick, and that's such a weapon. Rajapaksa takes it beautifully and manages to offload to Suryarachi. Suryarachi's kick is aimless, but Gowda manages to get under it.
You're in front of the kicker.
But referee says he was in front of the kicker.
You want the penalty
Lawrence
there
Wilkinson on
there?
the ball, as it were. And Mubarak may just step
In
up
front of the
from
kicker.
here, Abdullah, but he may be against the wind. It's not a lot of wind around, but he may be against it, as Niroshan Fernando just tosses up a few leaves of blades of grass just to see where the wind is blowing, and decides that he will try and give Liston Flatney the opportunity to go over, now that both other front row forwards have scored.
Yes, that's right. Again, we're talking about CH needing to tighten things up. And then we saw Sudham Suraj just putting a pretty meaningless kick center field. Gowda collected it, but he was nowhere on side and was penalized. So CH once again find themselves under a bit of pressure, just about 15 meters away from their try line.
Mithun Hapagoda again being instrumental in that with that lovely up and under from the box kick. Situm Piris again, in the absence of Sharo Fernando, a lot of responsibility will be on his shoulders today in the line-out. CHNFC have chosen not to contest any of these. Not sure that's going to be the wisest thing going forward. Matisha Saras Chandra is a good stealer of defensive line-out ball. As Havis keep marching forward, CH do well not to drag it down. Here's Dushmanta Priyadarshana at the back. Asmir Fajuddin rips it off him now. Now they go crashing towards the line. Flicked through the legs by Mithun Hapagoda.
Running. You're offside. 35.
But offside says the referee.
Hapagoda tried a cheeky pass between the legs, but fortunately for him, it found the body of a Havelock's player. So as a result, he was penalized. So another opportunity for Havelocks to try and win this line out and execute another driving maul.
Well, nice way to milk a penalty, isn't it, Abdullah? See Fajuddin here as the maul splinters, and then he goes straight through off the blind side. Just dragged down a few meters short, and then Hapagoda with that behind the back. Still Lasindu Ishan changes the point of attack. Havelocks are not going to want to send this out too quickly. Flatney. Here's Havelock still grinding along. Asmir Fajuddin. Flatney now at the back takes Senal Dilaka with him. This is really good close quarter technique from Havis. And here's Dushmanta Priyadarshana, has isolated himself a little bit but does well to keep that ball alive. CH are manning up in numbers. Here's Havelocks still keeping the ball. Plenty of phases strung together. They're patient but haven't gone very far forward. Fajuddin again carries it up. Here's Dushmanta Priyadarshana. Umesh Madhushan now. Here's Shaukat Lahir. Now they've got a little bit of space, Havelocks to work with, but Gowda is there in the midfield defense.
Use it, 9.
Here's Fajuddin again, driving towards the line, and he's over, is he? Yes, he is. The referee had a second look at it, and in fact it's Shaukat Lahir who drove him over. And it looks like it's Umesh Madhushan who may have scored eventually. And the two Royalists combining beautifully there to go over for Havelocks. And Shaukat Lahir it is who's awarded the try. But it just shows the value of being patient, Abdullah. They went nowhere for a long time, and then eventually the dam broke.
That's right, Shanaka. Patience is the word there. They just wore down that CHNFC defense. CH could absorb only so much. Lahir, as we saw again, good strength, very well supported by Madhushan, and going over for the third try. So Havelocks, after going down 3-0, have replied emphatically with 3 consecutive tries. And they find themselves comfortably placed that night at 19-3. And so far, CH just don't seem to have an answer for this Havelocks onslaught.
Coach Sanat Martis was at yesterday's game between Ciara and Kandy. Abdullah probably scouting out Kandy and what they had to offer. And not much in terms of the off the bench is probably what he went away with yesterday. But he seemed quietly confident, and you can see why. But as he would have noticed in yesterday's game as well, 19-3 is not a comfortable lead in today's context. With 7 points for a try, a couple of minutes can just completely change the game around. CHNFC will be desperate to get into the opposition half now and not concede penalties. Dushmanta Priyadarshana is carried strongly in this opening quarter. Hapugoda. Niroshan Fernando has seen the danger, and he senses that danger and manages to extinguish it by putting the ball in behind those dangerous CHNFC backs.
Yes, always wise to play that territorial game, especially from the kickoff. Comfortably placed, 19 points to 3. So Niroshan Fernando using all his experience, identifying the space at the back, and has pushed CH back into their own half. Havelocks have definitely been one of the more consistent teams in this rugby league. They just lost that one game to Kandy Sports Club up at Nittawala in that first round. I think one of the main reasons for that, Shanaka, is the consistency of this team. Coach Martis, as you said, seems to know his best 15, and that's just reflected as we have another wonderful break by Sudarshana Muthutantre.
Dragged down eventually, but here's Nivanka Prasad now, the strong runner in broken field as well. Nice pass from him, and here's Hiranta Pereira. Will look to offload. In fact, he may not need to, as Riza Mubarak drags him down but doesn't manage to hold him, and he's over for the try. Hiranta Pereira has reached over and managed to score. So just as we said that CH were having no answer, they find one in the form of Hiranta Pereira, who has been at his devastating best probably since that derby game between CH and CR. His season seemed to turn around at that point. Abdullah scored a brilliant try there and now has put his team on the scoreboard again.
That's right, showing tremendous strength, and you could probably see what CH are trying to do. I think they want this game to be broken up as much as possible, as we see a wonderful offload by Nivanka Prasad. Some good hands, and then Hiranta Pereira just showing his strength, breaking a couple of tackles and going over for CHNFC's first try. So CHNFC, no doubt, will want this game to be broken up as much as possible. They will try and keep the ball away from Havelock's forwards as far as possible, and you could see that this is how this game could very well pan out.
Yes, hopefully our viewers, especially the neutral fans, will be expecting a complete try-fest, and I think we've seen the signs of one happening, as both Mubarak and Madhuvanta miss their last conversions, so they're going neck and neck. Sandun Herat got dragged in there to that defense. He was off his wing, Abdullah, which is why Hiranta Pereira had so much room.
Drinks break. Drinks.
Just completely unnecessary, Abdullah, these firecrackers. We saw them at yesterday's game between CR and Kandy as well, and so dangerous, especially in a crowded situation where people are standing around together, huddled together. It's just something that I think the authorities should ban. And the big matches coming up, Isipatana versus Thurston on the 22nd and 23rd, and with March Madness starting, we have St. Joseph's and St. Peter's playing their big match. Anand and Naland also at the SSC grounds, followed by the Royal Thomian on the 7th, 8th and 9th of March at the same grounds. Jaffna versus St. John's, another very, very old fixture. Trinity versus St. Anthony's, Richmond College versus Mahinda College, the Battle of the Lovers as it's called, and Kingswood versus Dhanmaraja. All this live and exclusive on your number one sports hub, ThePapare.com. And the limited overs games as well. Similarly, just a week after 3rd of March will be Isipatana versus Thurston, and we end on the 6th of April with DS versus Mahanama. So the Mustangs Trophy will be on the 16th of March, and Anand and Nalanda also will be on the 17th. Nalanda will be firm favourites, I would think, for that game, the way this season has been panning out. And just after that water break, CHNFC coming back. So I'm not sure that water break was really well timed for CH, Abdullah, because they had the momentum after that try. And it would have been a nice little break, just a nice opportunity to slow things down again for Havies.
Yeah, that's right. And that's what they will look to do. Tighten things up once again. Just play it with the forwards. Wear down this CHNFC forward pack. As Mubarak gets the second quarter underway.
Gone back.
Knocked forward that time, knocked backwards, says referee Wilkinson. And Dushmanta Priyadarshana has swooped on it again. One thing has to be said about the fitness of these front row forwards, Abdullah, is very good because they've been carrying so much and doing a lot of work in the tight. It takes a lot out of you, but they're still everywhere where the ball is.
Especially a guy like Dushmanta Priyadarshana, isn't it? Like he does so much work around the park, and he's there for the 80 minutes more often than not as well.
Yeah,
really being the standout player for me this season.
You must release.
For sure, a guy who came into rugby very late. And another penalty that the referee has been blowing very consistently since the game yesterday. He's been saying the tackler has to release, and this is not a penalty we see a lot of our Sri Lankan referees giving very often. And you can see why, because the game gets slowed down because the ball isn't allowed to be released. And it's a very, very important penalty for referees to get sequentially right.
Agreed, 100% Shanaka. I think he's blown that very well. We saw it in yesterday's game as well. And I think the players, it's up to the players now to just adjust to that, isn't it? So far, I don't think the players have been very good at adjusting to that. They just got to show that patience in defense, not worry too much when phases are built. We've seen in the international matches, most defenses have ability to absorb 5, 6, 7, 8 phases without conceding penalties.
Nicely won again by Situm Piris. And Havelocks, and this is where you've got to be kind of like Glenn McGrath and just stick with what works. Not try to do anything too different. If your driving maul is working for you, keep using it.
That's two. Use it
is
now,
what Coach Schmartis would have told his chargers, and they're obeying him. At that time, ball not coming out, so CHNFC doing really well. Prasad Madhushankar having a word as well.
As well, probably a bit of niggle going on in between guys like Madhushankar, Sudham Suryarachi playing against their former club. So probably a bit of banter going on as well, so it's all in good spirit. But I think CH will get a lot of confidence from having halted that driving maul. They struggled so far in those first 20 minutes. But hopefully this will give them a bit of confidence in terms of defending that maul. It's such a vital aspect in the modern game, isn't it, Shanaka? Talk about the driving maul, but even the ability to defend that driving maul. It's such an important aspect of today's modern game.
Certainly is, and I don't think a lot of teams pay enough attention to actually getting together a defense for it and how to defend it. And it's something that international teams spend a lot of time on as the scrum wheels. But the rules have changed, as you know, and the scrum will come back to the side that had it before the wheel.
This is an area of the game that CH probably have had the upper hand thus far. It's a bit surprising because that Havelock's front row has been dominant throughout this season. As we have a look at the weights of both the packs, CH having a slight advantage overall and in terms of the front row as well.
Pretty sizable advantage as well, Abdullah, but they managed to get the ball away this time, and Nishan Pereira has acres of space to run into. Mubarak needed to be strong and make that tackle, which he did. And here is the ball now for CH to Sudarshana Mudutantri. He's dangerous if he gets ahead of steam up. Here's quick ball from Suryarachi again, and now Madhuanta. Madhuanta will pass it off long to Avishka Lee. Lee dragged down in the tackle by Randy Silva.
Stay there.
Suryarachi waits. Taken forward now through CH, one man out. Here's Chatra Dilshan. Chatra Dilshan stepping, juggles and holds on. Again through Surya Rachi's pass finds Nishan Pereira standing. But the winger does really well as Chamara Dabare attempts to hold him up and does really well to hold him up as well. The referee calls a maul. It will be Havelock's ball.
Use it.
And it is coming through to CH. Play on, says the referee. Everybody's waiting for a whistle, but Rohit Rajapaksa carries it in. Shaukat Lahir goes in for the turnover, but he's cleared up off the ball. Here's Satya Ranatunga. Tommy is outside, goes back inside. Prasad Madhushankar now drops the ball, and the Havelock's players will remind him of that one for the rest of the game, I'm sure, as they thump it down the field and it goes out into touch, and the referee will probably deem that was more than enough advantage for that Havelock's team.
Yes, that's right. Another lost opportunity for CHNFC. But during the previous phases, Shanaga, they just seemed to have numbers out wide. That communication was just not there to just spread the ball out. And I think that's where they do have an edge over this Havelock's team. And they've just got to make it count. Saw Mututantri on a couple of occasions going into contact when he probably would have been done better to just try and pass the ball out.
Certainly, Abdullah, here's where it probably should have gone out as well to Nivanka Prasad, who was waiting outside. Here's a knock forward from Madhushankar. But again, CH have to try and avoid being lured into this slugfest, Abdullah. They've got to play the game at their own pace. Havies will want it to be slowed down a little bit. And again, you can see the referee that's throw clearly on the outside shoulder of the man. But since there was no contest, he plays on. Not an accurate pass that time from CH. Mututantri again, not looking for the wide option. Surya Rachi puts the little box kick in, but uncharacteristic mistake from Riza Mubarak. Manages to rescue it, but the referee will come back for the knock-on. And usually safe as houses under that high ball. It's probably hearing the thundering footsteps of Nishan Pereira. Don't see that very often.
Yes, the same old adage, the kick is only good as how well it's chased. And Nishan Pereira putting a lot of pressure on Mubarak. As you very correctly said, Shanaka, very uncharacteristic error. Safe as houses as usual.
Time's on. White ball.
But on that occasion, just knocking the ball down. So it's another opportunity for CHNFC. I'm sure they'll need to try and play this game in the wider channels as far as possible. Avoid getting into contact too much with this Havelock's outfit. It's an area where they're very comfortable at.
Crouch. Boy.
Big scrum here for CH to try and get some points.
Sit.
Get a little closer. It's an 11-point gap so far.
You got the advantage. Tight head angle.
Surya Rachi waits for the offload from the number 8. Rohit Rajapaksa takes it forward and breaks the first couple of tackles. Dragged down eventually. And here's the ball available for Gowda. Gowda to Madhuanta now. Madhuanta cuts back on the inside. Lovely inside ball. And Adam Gowda will touch down under the post. And you can see why we've been asking for CH to move it wide, because they've got so much quality with this man in that midfield, dragging a couple of defenders. But it was Rohit Rajapaksa's first break that crossed the gain line that made the difference there. Havi's defense never recovered.
Absolutely, Shanaka. We spoke off air as well pre-game about how well the Havelock centre combination will be able to handle the onslaught from Hiranta Pereira and Adam Gowda, and that was an ideal example. The defence was just not strong enough. So have a look at the replay once again. Making some good inroads and then deciding to go wide absolutely at the correct time. Have the ball changing hands extremely well. Madhuvantal making the half break and offloading to Gowda to go over for CHNFC's second try. The conversion successful as well. So it's just 19 points to 13. You can see CHNFC slowly but surely getting themselves back into this game. It's 15 points to 9 now with the conversion.
And a nice vision from Gowda there as well. He didn't try to take the ball in the first time. He passed it on and then made himself available on that support line, which is what a lot of young Sri Lankan backs would do well to learn. Nice hanging kick.
Play on, general play.
CHNFC recovering possession though through Muthutantri.
Taken back.
Thumping that ball down field, and Chamara Dabare will look for now Randy Silva. Cutting back at the inside was Sandun Herat, but nowhere for him to go, and Havelocks desperately need some numbers there. Fajruddin acts as a halfback, not for the first time today, and now the actual halfback Mithun Hapagoda puts a little chip in, which has been recovered. And Fajruddin now looking for outside runner. Good hands from Niroshan Fernando, and Lasan Luishan Karunatilaka will scamper down the line into the 22 towards the 5-meter line now. Havelocks building pressure. Fajruddin again is the first man to the breakdown. And this is where Havelocks like to play their rugby. Shaukat Lahir so close to scoring the first one. He's not held, gets up and goes again, the flank forward. Here's Hapagoda. Umesh Madhushan now. Here's some numbers and he's almost over. Yes, he is over. He's Mithun Hapagoda. Manages to wiggle in through a gap that was hardly there. And Mithun Hapagoda touches down for Havelocks, and that's the bonus point try just on the half an hour mark.
Yes, it looks like we're in for a real try fest today. It's half an hour into the game and we've already seen some wonderful tries. But again, Shanaki, we've just got to question the defensive structures of both these teams. When possession is turned over, they just don't seem to react as well as they should, as we can see Havelocks again taking up slowly, attacking along the fringes, the short sides. It's very well managed by Hapagoda, and goes over for that try on the short side. So just when CHNFC looked as if they were getting themselves back into this game, Havelocks have struck back. And they've extended this lead to 24 points to 15. With the conversion to come from Mubarak.
So it was 19-15 just a couple of moments ago. And now it's 24-15. And Mubarak looking to make it an 11-point, to restore that 11-point lead. And that's a lovely kick from Riza. More than making up for that drop ball a little while ago. And he's been playing rugby for just a little bit longer than the ThePapare has been on air. Abdullah, 10 years of service now the ThePapare has rendered to the sports-loving public of Sri Lanka. And it really has been a tremendous journey as we watch another old-timer knocking over that ball. Easy as you like.
Yes, wonderful milestone for ThePapare.com as well. And Riza Mubarak also just reaching another personal milestone, 100 points for the season. Shows his level of consistency with the boot as Madhuanta. Another lovely hanging kick.
Umesh Madhushan manages to come away with it though, but leaves it behind once again as Madhushanka gathers the ball in. CH trying to wrap up those big forwards in midfield before working it wide. Here they go through Madhuanta again. There's a ball coming out to Muthutantri. Muthutantri pegging his ears back and taking it up to the 22. High tackle signals the referee, so they have a penalty coming, and what's almost being termed as a free hit now. And Nivanka Prasad drops that ball cold, but he won't mind because they've got the penalty coming up. And substitution made early. Faiz Abdullah, the former Peter Wright prop forward, coming in place of Liston Flatney. We don't know whether that's tactical or injury forced yet, Abdullah, but might be wanted to bring a little bit more mobility into this pack, Coach Martis. He's not afraid to make his substitutions early.
Yeah, that's right. But it looked as if Flatley was struggling with an injury. He was walking about, not getting to the breakdowns as he should. So probably carrying some sort of an injury, which resulted in that replacement. Another wonderful attacking opportunity for CH. Interesting to see the option they will take. Will they go for a driving maul? Will they spread it out wide?
Nice ball to the back.
No, backwards. Hands up!
Here it is for CH now, trying to give Havelocks a dose of their own medicine. Rumbling it forward inch by inch.
Hands up, hands up. I can't see that. We're going back to the penalty.
It's held up, says the referee, so they'll come back for a 5-meter scrum.
Offside.
And there's a penalty for offside.
So it'll be interesting to see how CH react to this penalty scrum, which they have got. So far, they've had the control over the Heavies pack thus far. And you can see, if you listen to the referee carefully, he's definitely having a word with the Havelocks front row to keep it, to stay square, not to drive in.
So Faiz Abdullah, the new man on the near side of the scrum for Heavies, propping against the experienced Satya Ranatunga. And you can see Satya Ranatunga already has stolen a march over his man, but it doesn't matter because Sudham Suryarachi has just burst straight through the gap. And he went with the wheel, the young halfback. And there was absolutely no one as the Red Sea parted to let him through.
Yeah, that's right. Some good pressure inserted by the CH front row. You can see that experience coming into play as well. And with that wheel, the open side flanker was completely covered, and Sudham Suryarachi had no problem to just go over for CHNFC's strike. Once again, CHNFC have managed to narrow this lead under the post conversion, which Madhuvanta should really have no problem with.
We saw those Papare pictures, Abdullah. We saw the crowd gathered on the near side, sitting huddled together, young schoolboys, and the crackers are going off in their midst. This really is something that I hope that all the home teams crack down upon. The smoke from the crackers wafting up here into our commentary box as well. Those are all the kids that might be in danger of just some loose explosive. And that was Mithun Hapagoda having a chat with the referee while his opposite number just scampered over. So it's the importance of actually just making sure you keep focused all the time as Mubarak starts us off again.
You're good. Stay there. Stay.
Madhuvanta that time drilling it downfield.
That's okay. That's okay. We're up. The ruck set there. Fine. They never took the ball back. They received the ball in the 22.
Touch judge slightly confused as to whether it was carried back or not. Certainly wasn't.
They're going to sit up on the line. Okay. They're on the line.
While it has been really exciting for the spectators, Shanak, we've just got to question some of these defensive structures of both teams. Just don't seem to be organized enough in that aspect of the game. The tries have been relatively loose. It's not created through any form of sustained attack on most of the situations. There's another steal by CHNFC, spreading it wide.
Great work by Mathias Sarachandra in the line out there, and Adam Gowda punches it up, takes a couple of defenders with him now, and the long pass out to Avish Khalil. Lee has a good pair of heels on him. Gowda acts as halfback. His little goose step from Muthutantri, but the ball is ripped away, and referee says that's perfectly fine. And Sudarshan Muthutantri will gladly accept that gift from CH. Mithun Hapagoda will think about the box kick. At that time opts to give it to Umesh Madhushan, the hard-working second row forward. manages to go to ground. And Fajuddin now shifts it on quickly.
Hands away.
Karunatilaka, Mubarak to Dabare.
Away now, thank you. Good.
Slow ball now, and that knock-on was
What was lost forward there?
not one that Havelocks needed at that point in time, but the referee may just blow for half-time. Yes, he has. So Havelocks lucky there to escape without allowing another opportunity for CH to score. So it's been an absolutely helter-skelter game. 7 tries in just the first half, Abdullah, and 26 points to 22 in this battle between second and third on the Dialogue Rugby League. What do you think we have in store coming up?
Hopefully many more tries from the spectators' point of view, Shanaka. But you'd like to see both teams' defenses tightening up a bit as well. You've got to want teams to work a bit harder for their tries. But it's been a very entertaining game, there's no doubt about that. And as you said, 7 tries within the 40 minutes. I'm sure the spectators would be very happy with what they have seen thus far. And also it's a game which either team could win, so on. So I'm sure we'll be in for a very exciting second half as well.
That's the halftime score, 26 points to 22. 4 tries for Havelocks, 3 tries for CHNFC. Nothing in this game. And you're joining us live on ThePapare.com. Highlights of the first half, and there's a long segment of highlights for sure because Samuel Madhuantha got proceedings started with the 40-meter kick. That was Mubarak's conversion. And this was Havelock's second try. So, Madhushan and Lahir. Lahir eventually the man who went over. Converted easily by Riza, and this was CHNFC's first try as well, created by the captain Rohit Rajapaksa, getting a good burst in that 9-10 channel, opening things up for Gowda. Gowda gave it out unselfishly. Hirantha Pereira and Samuel Madhuantha cutting back, and Gowda on hand for that little pop pass. Here's a conversion that took the lead back out to 11 points. It was 26-15 at this point in the game. But this is where Sudham Suryarachi completely changed everything. He just picked up and went with Mithun Hapugoda, had a hand raised, talking to the ref. And Suryarachi took complete advantage of that, and Samuel Madhuantha knocked over the conversion to bring us to this 26 points to 22. Join us for the next 40 minutes live on ThePapare.com. This is the Dialogue Rugby League. We'll be back after the break.
Crescent Mini Keeves. Try it. Love it. The original Mini Keeves, only from Crescent.
අපේ ගෙදර හැමෝටම ඉන්ටනෙට් ඕනේ. මොබිටෙල් වයිෆයි රවුටරේ නිසා ගෙදරදී කිසි ප්‍රශ්නයක් නෑ. අපි වෙන වෙනම ඉන්ටනෙට් ගියත් පැකේජ් එක එකයි. ඒත් ගෙදරින් එළියට ගියාම හැමෝටම පැකේජ් එක අරන් යන්න පුළුවන්ද? Hey Barry, මොබිටෙල් Wi-Fi Plus පැකේජ් එක තියෙන්නේ ලංකාවේ කොහේ හිටියත් රවුටරය ගෙදර තියෙද්දි ගෙදර හැමෝටම එකම පැකේජ් එකෙන් වෙන වෙනම ඉන්ටර්නෙට් යන්න පුළුවන් එකම ක්‍රමය මොබිටෙල් Wi-Fi Plus විතරයි. ඒ විතරක් නෙමේ එක බිලයි කනෙක්ෂන්ස් ගොඩයි.
Crunchy munchy.
Fiery Kochi.
Crescent Kochi Bites. Try it. Love it. The original Kochi Bites only from Crescent.
Sophisticated selection of Yardley, London.
අපේ ගෙදර හැමෝටම ඉන්ටනෙට් ඕනේ මොබිටෙල් Wi-Fi රවුටරේ නිසා ගෙදරදි කිසි ප්‍රශ්නයක් නෑ අපි වෙන වෙනම ඉන්ටනෙට් ගියත් පැකේජ් එක එකයි ඒත් ගෙදරින් එළියට ගියාම හැමෝටම පැකේජ් එක අරන් යන්න පුළුවන්ද Hey බැරි මොබිටෙල් Wi-Fi Plus පැකේජ් එක තියෙන්නේ ලංකාවේ කොහේ හිටියත් රවුටරය ගෙදර තියෙද්දි ගෙදර හැමෝටම එකම පැකේජ් එකෙන් වෙන වෙනම ඉන්ටර්නෙට් යන්න පුළුවන් එකම ක්‍රමය මොබිටෙල් Wi-Fi Plus විතරයි ඒ විතරක් නෙමේ එක බිලයි කනෙක්ෂන්ස් ගොඩයි අපේ ගෙදර හැමෝටම ඉන්ටනෙට් ඕනේ මොබිටෙල් Wi-Fi රවුටරේ නිසා ගෙදරදි කිසි ප්‍රශ්නයක් නෑ අපි වෙන වෙනම ඉන්ටනෙට් ගියත් පැකේජ් එක එකයි ඒත් ගෙදරින් එළියට ගියාම හැමෝටම පැකේජ් එක අරන් යන්න පුළුවන්ද Hey බැරි මොබිටෙල් Wi-Fi Plus පැකේජ් එක තියෙන්නේ ලංකාවේ කොහේ හිටියත් රවුටරය ගෙදර තියෙද්දි ගෙදර හැමෝටම එකම පැකේජ් එකෙන් වෙන වෙනම ඉන්ටර්නෙට් යන්න පුළුවන් එකම ක්‍රමය මොබිටෙල් Wi-Fi Plus විතරයි ඒ විතරක් නෙමේ එක බිලයි කනෙක්ෂන්ස් ගොඩයි
Get with the global Pulsar mania now and upgrade to the new and improved Pulsar 200 NS from David Peary's Motor Company Private Limited.
Welcome back to live pictures on ThePapare.com, which has been your #1 sports hub for the last 10 years and counting. And we've seen 7 tries and still counting in this encounter between Havelock and CHNFC. 7 tries so far. How many will we see in the next 40 minutes? 26 points to 22 is the lead that Havelock enjoy. It's absolutely nothing, as 4 points is just 1 score. So no team has the advantage leading into this. Joining me in the commentary box, Abdullah Yusuf. What would have been said at that halftime break, Abdullah?
Yes, well, I'm sure both coaches would have had a word with their players in terms of their defense. I thought the defense was lax on both teams' parts, where they leaked quite a few tries as well. And overall, just to tighten things up, from CH's point of view, I'm sure Ronnie Ibrahim would have told them to try and play the game away from this Havelock's forward pack as much as possible. Because whenever they have done that, they have definitely asked questions of the Havelock's defense. While Havelock's, on the other hand, will just try and play it a bit more tighter as well.
It's reset.
They seem to be missing the services of Dinu Kamarasinghe in that first centre position. Gauda and Hiranta Pereira just seem to be very threatening whenever they had possession of the ball. That's the young man who has replaced him, Randy Silva. Very talented player in his own right when he played for Isipatana, but yet an infant in the top league of club rugby.
Hasn't played a lot of in this A division, so in terms of experience and just physical presence, Havelocks are very definitely second best in that midfield. The referee once again calling for that boring in. We were talking about that with Satya Ranatunga also being in the firing line for that. So the referee has pinged both sets of tight head props, and this time it was a loose head prop that got pinged as well. So Dushmanta Priyadarshana having a little bit of a smile that finally a penalty is gone in his direction and not against him. That's the offender, Satya Ranatunga. And this is what teams get away with week in and week out, boring in, creating that angle for their props. And that's something that absolutely is not tolerated even on the world stage. So Sri Lanka will really struggle if you allow them to play this way in the domestic structure. And when you go abroad, you immediately concede penalties at scrum time.
That's right, and now it's the onus is very much on the coaches to take cue of what they have seen thus far in both the games that we've seen this weekend, and make corrective measures immediately. Because these players are experienced enough to know what is right and wrong. It's just they need to be given the correct guidance in that aspect.
Nice win at the back of the line out that time.
Okay, out now, out 18.
Jason Melder has come on for CHNFC to add a little bit more bulk to this pack.
Down. Second.
And another penalty coming their way.
Second. Let's keep it up.
So Niroshan Fernando will definitely go for the sideline this time.
Okay.
Doesn't
White,
try
up on the line.
the cheeky little tap and go that
It was your whole team.
Finn Russell tried yesterday.
Yeah. Going back, how is it set? You must keep it up.
So CHNFC will need to show a bit of discipline here once again. They've already been penalized once when trying to contain this Havelock's driving maul. As we have a look at the penalty count, CH 7 to Havelock's 4.
Shaukat Lahir winning at the front, so they're changing their target men in the line out. That's good thinking from CH just to from Havelock's rather, just to ensure that CH don't have an easy mark in the line out. Good defense that time from CH, not allowing heavies close to the gain line. They've gone about 3 meters back. That's a good charge though by the big number 24. And that time it was a defensive penalty, so good work from CH there. Faiz Abdullah couldn't release the ball to a teammate fast enough, and CH have gotten out of jail.
Yes, just finding himself isolated there, and I think it was Nivanka Prasad, the man who went over to try and turn that ball over. So some good work by Prasad, helping CHNFC to relieve the pressure that they were under. And Madhuvantha finds some good touch right on the 40-meter mark. So CHNFC will be disappointed, rather Havelocks will be disappointed. And we just got to question Shanaka, should they have gone for the post? Because Mubarak seems to be in decent kicking form as well. Collect whatever points you can when it's such a close game.
I would think so, Abdullah. I really would. Here's Abdullah going for the penalty, but holding on. None of his forwards went with him, which was a shame because it was a nice angle that he ran. Sarat Chandra nicely off the top. Rajapaksa puts his ears back and takes it to the line once again. Here it is through Samuel Madhuantha, dragged down by Randy Silva. Gowda, lovely short pop to the truck runner there. Here is Jason Melder powering through the tackle of Umesh Madhushan. Rajapaksa with a lovely switch back on the inside to Gowda. CH now through Satya Ranatunga. He stopped dead in his tracks, but nice hands from Melder, even better hands now, and Hiranta Pereira has given the ball away to Lee. Lee manages to pop it away to Madhuantha, and Madhuantha will go over in the corner. So CHNFC will take the lead for only the second time since the first minute of this game. And this man, Samuel Madhuantha, is responsible for that as well. And what a good try that was. Some great angles run by the truck runners, just drawing the defense in, and good hands at the end, textbook stuff.
Most definitely, Shanaka. We were just talking about the importance of CHNFC trying to play the game away from that Havelock's pack as much as possible.
Where's your captain?
And they showed their class with some, as you very correctly said, wonderful running lines and some good supporting lines as well. As we have a look at that replay once again. Some good hands by Gowda as well. Avantali did extremely well to stay on his feet, and some good supporting play by Madhuantha. The Havelock's defense just not getting them enough numbers out wide. And for the first time in this game, they'll take the lead, and Madhuantha adds another 2 points to CHNFC's tally and 2 points to his personal tally as well. So CHNFC take a 29 points to 26 lead. It's a game that is swinging to and fro.
Yes, it's been like a pendulum, hasn't it been, Abdullah, from one side to the other. And since the first minute, it's taken 46 more minutes for CHNFC to regain the lead. And the gap is the same. It was 3 points to 0, and now it's 29 points to 26. But a lot of water has flowed under the bridge since that first minute. And let's see how that will affect the teams in this next half an hour of play.
He's making efforts. He's fine. Stay there.
So that would have warmed the hearts of one of our Papare fans who've been watching from a long distance away. Your teammate, Bo Atakorala Abdullah, who played under you in 97, I think it was. Played for another year as well for Royal, and is now one of our chief statisticians, watching the game all the way in New Zealand and cheering on his old club CH. Ball went off the foot that time. Referee right on the spot to spot that. And Heavy's now just charging it up. 1 out running. Pick and go. This is effective stuff at close quarters.
Not secure.
This is where Havelocks are very comfortable. Attacking
Hands
along
up,
the fringes,
hands up,
just trying to draw
hands
that
up.
penalty.
Thank you.
CH will do well to just flood that area as much as possible, try and slow the ball down so it gives their defenders enough time to realign.
Now,
Mithun Hapagota to Karunatilaka. Karunatilaka runs straight at Gowda and manages to pop it up. Prince Chamara now manages to stay on his feet long enough for Havelocks to get some numbers there.
Stay here.
Mithun Hapagota now again. Havelocks swinging up out of their line. Jason Melder did well to shut down the first man. It's still going though. Hiroshan Fernando thinks about going himself, but gives it instead to Dushmantha Priyadarshana, looking for his double. Shaukat Lahir right on the spot, but it's a penalty. Holding on, says the referee, and over the ball goes Matisha Sarat Chandra. And outstanding work from the young second rower. to get in there, and Dushmantha Priyadarshan is not an easy man to stop, so that's really good defensive work. Twice they've managed to turn the ball over in their 5-meter line, Abdullah. And you've been talking about defense, and this is how CH had improved theirs.
That's right. Good discipline and good patience shown by CHNFC. They did not panic. They let the ball recycle and just managed to identify the correct moment to go over. As we have a look at that once again, Dushmantha Priyadarshana slightly isolated, and that was just enough for Saraj Chandra to go get his hands on the ball and draw that penalty. So good work by the CHNFC defensive outfit.
Yes, I thought Sadun Herat should have done a little better. He was an arriving player there, and went completely off his feet, somersaulted over the ruck, and didn't do his ball carrier any favors there. Nice quick ball off the top of that line out now for CH to work some first phase magic. Gowda thinks about giving it and goes on his own in the end. Not a player with a lot of flashy brilliance, but does the basics so well. Adam Gowda has added a real dimension to this CHNFC outfit. Yes, a little snipe from Sudham Suryarachi. Running onto that ball nicely was Muthu Tantri, and that ball has been dropped by Sajid Saranga, so they'll have to come all the way back, but nearly another try for CHNFC there, just saved by the bell.
Yeah, that's right. Very well spotted by Sudham Suryarachi, identifying the space on the short side. Seeing that Havelocks did not have adequate numbers. Broke that first tackle, offloaded brilliantly. Muthu Tantri did extremely well, but unfortunately Saranga just not able to hang on to that. So it's another missed opportunity for CHNFC. They always look very dangerous, isn't it, Shanak, whenever they do go wide, when they decide to move the ball around. You can see the Havelocks defense just seem very uncertain whenever that does happen. And it'll be to their advantage if they continue to do that.
I'd like to see Sudham Suryarachi just take it to the line a little bit more from that base, Abdullah. He's just such an elusive runner. You've already seen him score a brilliant try. And just to keep the defenses guessing, if he just takes off on a run once in a while. Here's where they've got to be careful not to concede penalties.
Stay there.
Front row's doing well there that time. Niroshan Fernando now with one of the few times that Havies have got an opportunity to run. Mubarak gives it to Chamra Dabare. Dabare needs to find a support runner, but just too late to free his arms. Swinging out of that defensive line are the CH players. That time it was Nivanka Prasad who shot up to shut down the defense. Deadly dangerous if that doesn't go right, but that time it worked out well. Mithun Hapugoda will think about the chip kick, but Suryarachi has dropped back. Here's Dabare again, trying to stay in field but dragged down by Nishan Pereira. So good defense again from CH.
Time's off, I've got an AR report. Take the team. Let's take the team. High tackle. Was it penalty only, or are we thinking?
You can go to a yellow card.
I can go to a yellow card. So give me the. So what's actually happened? He's come in.
Okay. Arm went straight to the neck.
Okay. With force.
Sorry.
With force. Was it with force, or did he?
With the force.
Okay. So 20 white.
28 white.
28 white. High.
High.
Yellow card. Thank you. Hold the mic for me. Number 28, please.
Okay, 28, 28. 28, boys. 28, Vijata.
CH could be in a bit of trouble here. Seems to have, seems to have spotted a high tackle. Adam Gowda seems to be the guilty party.
High tackle with 4 straight. Yellow card. There you go.
Ooh, this could be real trouble for CH. Real trouble. As Adam Gowda, the linchpin in midfield, goes to the bin for 10 minutes. Did the referee spot it, Abdullah? Was it just an intervention from the AR?
It was absolute intervention by the AR. It was on his recommendation that the yellow card was also awarded. Let's see whether we'll be able to see what the infringement was.
Let's spot it up again. That's number 28, Gowda. And might have happened before that. Or it's maybe coming up right now, actually. And that might have been the swinging arm that he went in with, so just missed seeing the material side of that incident on the replay. Maybe we can see it again a little later as Sudarshan Muthutantri tidies up. Not a ball that Havelocks could afford to lose. Here's Surya Rachi now. Sajit Saranga coming back to the form that he showed a few years ago. Lost a bunch of fitness, Sajit Saranga, but has come back into this game strongly this season. Rajapaksa. Madhuanta forced onto his left foot and forced to kick as well. Had no option there. So we'll find ourselves back where we started, just on the other side of the field.
Yes, it'll be interesting to see how CH now adjusts to being down to 14 players for the next 8 minutes or so. I'm sure they'll hope that there isn't much damage caused because they are in the lead. It'll be looked to try and hold on to possession as much as possible during this period.
Well, he cuts a full-on figure there. And you say 14 players, Abdullah, but I would venture that this man is worth 2. So might be actually a bit bigger hole than just a one man. Situm Piris juggles but manages to bring it under control, and now Havelocks will run against that shortened defensive line. I don't know why they made a long pass with the defense cut short, but still Chamara Dabare manages to make 10 meters. Now they come back. Here's Prince Chamara to Azmir Fajrin. Hasn't carried too much since that first try he scored. Cutting back on the inside is Lashindu Ishan. I haven't seen too much from him either. They've all been very tight, and that's excellent work from CH. But Jason Melder was not doing so legally. They didn't release the tackler. And this is the sequence that we've been talking about till the cows come home, Abdullah. The tackler has to release, and it's then that the tackled player has to release the ball. 25. So those two things have to happen either simultaneously or one after the other, and that's what referees don't police effectively enough.
That's right, and what happens when it's not policed effectively is that the game slows down, and it just reduces it as a spectacle as well. So the referee is very clear, and it's very obvious there that there was no attempt to release. You've got to have daylight between the tackler and the man who is making the attempt to try and get the ball, and on that occasion it just didn't happen.
Situm Piris again at the back of the line out. Fajrin has been finding his mark well today.
Advantage, taking them all down.
And again dragging down, says the referee, and that's the penalty coming. Here's Mithun Hapagoda who puts the kick up, and the ball bounces into Prince Chamara's hands, and he gratefully makes the first couple of yards. But again, Havelocks make a hash of throwing that around, so the referee will come back for dragging it down. So it's the water break once again, and this is an opportunity perhaps for Havelocks to regroup. They know that they've gone behind, they know they've got a man up, and now what do they do about that? That will be the discussion at this break.
That's right, some good tactical thinking will need to come into place. How do you make use of that extra man? How do you alternate your strategies to exploit that numerical advantage?
Don't forget to join us for an in-depth look at the Dialogue Rugby League, our facts and figures on stats.thepapare.com. And you can join us to find out whatever numbers you want to find out about the game we all love, that we've been bringing you for the last decade, and hopefully for many decades more on thepapare.com. So shadows are lengthening, Abdullah, and may this might have an effect.
Yes, it's also interesting to see what option they will take. Will Riza go for the posts? Will Niroshan Fernando want to go to the line? They just got to collect points, especially such a close game, isn't it, Chanaka? Always just keep that scoreboard ticking. They've had 3 or 4 opportunities where they've gone to the line but have not been able to make it count.
I would agree with your logic under normal circumstances, Abdullah, but here they've got a man down, and perhaps this is one area where they should maybe go to the line. So let's show you the yellow card incident once again. Let's watch for Adam Gowda. Here he is. Doesn't make contact there. And might have been that hand actually. That's him in the number 28 jersey. So we'll keep going forward. It's a couple of phases from here. This is Fajuddin who carries it forward. You watch number 28 in the middle of your screen there, just next to the referee. This might be the incident. Cuts back. And, well, he didn't make too much of an impact. He gets up, doesn't even think that he's committed any crime, but he might have gone in without wrapping his arms there, Abdullah. The touch judge was or the assistant referee rather, was in better position than our cameraman was, so we'll have to give him the benefit of the doubt there, but seen players staying on the field for much less.
Yeah, that's right. Now CHNFC will just have to put that behind them. Just manage the next few minutes.
Are you the sub? Yeah, cool. Right, we're ready?
Looks like CH have, rather Heavies have lost one of their players.
Well, that's unfortunate. But a pinpoint kick from Reza Mubarak. What a try. Chamara Dabare has scored a try that we see the Wellington Hurricanes scoring. And what a try that was.
It's wonderful vision by Reza Mubarak. Just catching the CHNFC defense snapping on that occasion. Dabare right on hand to collect that ball safely and did well to stay on his feet and go over for the line. Pinpoint kick by Reza, wonderful skill.
Samuel Madhuantha just had to keep his eye on the man. He had no chance of getting to the ball. And Dabare scores for the second week in a row, scored a decisive try against Police last week as well. And they obviously would have talked about that at that little break, Abdullah, and said, let's try this one.
Yes, so it could have been just an absolute spontaneous reaction by Reza, just identifying the space out wide. An opportunity for him to further extend this lead.
Wonderful kick from Mubarak as well. And as Samuel Madhuantha tries to upstage the old guard stands firm and resists. So wonderful try there. We're used to seeing Bowden Barrett to Geordie Barrett, but that time it was Reza Mubarak to Chamara Dabare. And lovely strike from the experienced fullback as well. Restart not collected cleanly, but on the bounce. So looks like things have evened out on the field a little bit as well, because Adam Gowda is off for CH, and similarly we have Dushmantha Priyadarshana who is off for Havelocks. He was stretchered off a little while ago, so that's a big loss. Mubarak spinning,
No arms in the tackle.
stays on his feet, no arms in the tackle, says the referee, so they might get another penalty. Will Havelocks. And Randy Silva held up there, but referee will bring them back.
17, must wrap.
Kushan Indunil was also on the field, just to plug that hole that is left by Gowda.
Yes, I think he's taken the place of Hiranda Pereira, his former schoolmate. So Mubarak will once again look to find some good touch. Does well from center field, just about 4 meters away from the halfway line. And Havelock SC have made this extra man count thus far. They managed to collect that 7 points.
That's the no-arm tackle from Jason Melder that referee spotted. Big hit on Mubarak. And the kickers do take a bit of punishment. We saw it yesterday with Johnny Sexton getting absolutely clattered by Scotland's back row. But they realize that it comes with the territory. Fajuddin, that's a knock on by Havelocks. So a rare error in the line out today. It's been going well so far, but when the lifters get tired, Abdullah, that's when things start slowing down a little bit, and that's when you've got to realize that when your lifters are tired, the jump may not be at the same time that it was previously. That's when throwers also need to become a little sensitive to what's going on in front of them.
Yes, adjustment is the key.
Come up. Stand up. You're on the mark.
See what option that CH have. We know that Sudham Suryaarchi loves to use the short side.
Crouch.
Two monster front rows, but now Havelock shorn of experience. Rahul Delpachitra would have come on for Dushmantha Priyadarshana and Abdullah Faiz. So two Peterites packing around the former royalists.
We'll come around.
You can see that he's already affecting the scrum.
Come around.
Yes, it's very clever of CH to have identified that. I'm sure they'll try and exploit the inexperience of this Havelock's front row.
Well, Dushmantha Priyadarshana, or Prasad Madhushankar rather, looks like he may need a couple of stretches for him, the way he's carrying on at the moment. Hasn't moved too much, which isn't healthy.
Yes, the humidity level is definitely on the rise, Shanaka, here in Colombo, as we approach the month of March, when it's generally at its peak. So it'll be critical for the players just to keep the fluid intake in place, keep themselves hydrated.
Yes, it's been an almost overnight change in the weather, hasn't it? From nice chilly mornings to scorching sun now. We hope this won't be too much trouble for Madhushankar. They look like they're having a look at his shoulders when that scrum wheeled around. But he's sitting up now and hopefully he'll be okay to carry on.
Yes, it will be also interesting to see how Havelocks adjust to Priyadarshana not being in the field. He's such an important player for Havelocks. Just the person who the entire team we look up to now. With him being injured and being stretchered off, it's important that the rest of the senior players stand up.
White ball.
His departure won't be just felt at scrum time, but generally around the park as well.
So Madhushankar looks like he bought his 8.
Crouch.
A few breaths there.
Point.
This is an area where
Sit.
Lawrence Wilkinson will smarten up on the Sri Lankan players. Kandy Sports Club also buying a lot of time through injuries yesterday. Probably helped them to see out that game.
Hands away, Peg. Hands away.
And penalty coming because Sadhun Herath was
no clear release.
also pinged 14 for not releasing.
Shot called.
So it's important that the second man into that breakdown needs to make sure that the tackler has released. So it's so important because both men generally don't look at what the other is doing, and you can't when you approach that situation. So that's why it's so important for the tackler just to release. You watch the tackle here. Sadhun makes a tackle and there was no clear release before he went in after the ball.
Yes, and I don't think he was supporting his body weight either. The first call was definitely for not releasing the tackler. So it's an area where the coaches just need to pay much more emphasis midweek during their training runs. And also the local referees, isn't it, Shanaka? They need to be calling that much more often.
Just over the crossbar was Samuel Madhuvanta's kick. No problem for him with the range. He's got more than 55-60 meters on him when he needs it. And suddenly, the score is just 1 point with a quarter of this game left. Abdullah, it's no coincidence. You were talking about the local referees. But yesterday we saw an outstanding game of rugby. We saw, nearly 7 tries scored yesterday as well. We've seen about 8 tries already in this game, 9 tries in this game already. And that comes when the referees speed the game up. And this is not something we see often with local referees in such high-scoring games. Suryaarchi puts the kick in. And it bounces into the arms of Chamara Dabare, who puts the up and under in, but he's not renowned for his kicking abilities, Dabare, and probably should have just run that into the center of the field.
Yes, I think Mubarak should have been on his shoulder just asking for that ball. Slice that kick, and Havelocks find themselves under a bit of pressure now. CH have got Gowda back onto the field as well. So it's just been a 4-point play that they have conceded while they've been down to 14 players.
Nicely taken by Sarat Chandra, and Sudham Suryarachi goes off through that gap, but the referee says that there was a crooked throw, and I thought that time it was crooked and it was contested, Abdullah, which is exactly why the referee called it.
Yeah, that's right. It was definitely contested, so then when the ball goes crooked, it's not an even contest. So the referee has been absolutely on the ball today, making the calls just as it's seen and as it should be done. As we have a look at that once again.
Watch the angle on both of these two, please. Thank you.
Can see Sarat Chandra taking that well outside his inside shoulder, his outside shoulder rather. So that's a telltale sign for referees.
Bind. Sit.
So important scrum now for Havelocks just to gain some territorial advantage, and again lifting is the call. And you can see that all this skullduggery that's been going on for so many weeks in this Dialogue Rugby League is suddenly being exposed, and this is something that coaches are going to have to take notes on.
That's right, and our local referees as well, isn't it, Shanaka? Because saw Priyadarshan have been called up at the start of the game on a couple of occasions. Lovely raking kick by Reza just on the 22.
He's lifted his game, hasn't he, in the last month or so, Reza, since that game against Havelocks versus Navy, I think. There he is, just showing that lifting, and that's why it's so dangerous, Abdullah. When you stand up, you've got players' necks on the line, which is why World Rugby are so conscious on it.
That's right, Jason Melder on that occasion, the guilty party.
Line, the line.
It's just important that those kind of players are clamped down.
Take a step out.
For safety reasons as much as anything else.
That's bad miss that time.
5 pink scrum.
Karuna Tilaka doesn't miss too many, but that was an important ball to take for him. Havelocks have Theekshana Dasanayak on, another former Pete Wright in this Havelocks team.
You can understand what CH will be trying to do. They're trying to expose this very youthful Havelocks front row, but they've just got to be smart in how they go about it. They've got to read the referee, understand the referee as well.
That's a much better scrum from both front rows. Rohit Rajapaksa gives it to Gowda, who has Samuel Madhuanta coming into the line, and that's a high hit, is it? Seatbelt tackle almost from Herat, but referee waves play on. Good tackle that time on Sudarshan Mututantri. Nivanka Prasad now barges forward and bounces a few meters after he's brought to ground.
He's fine. Back over here.
Yes, he is coming back for that seatbelt tackle. That was Sandun Herat, who needed to be a little better because Havelocks defense didn't drift across fast enough.
Yes, so that was a good example of some good communication between the referee and the assistant referee. I think the referee Wilkinson did not pick it up, but it was pointed out by the assistant referee. So that just enables the CHNFC to get back into Havelocks half.
Lawrence Wilkinson probably was named before the 2003 World Cup went England's way. So we'll have to ask him what the origin of his name was.
Time's off.
12 penalties CH have conceded, and Havelocks have caught up now. 9 penalties that they've conceded. So there was a bit in it before, but now the gap is closing, so Havelocks will need to be careful.
It'll also be interesting to see how many of those penalties were conceded, one at scrum time and the other at the breakdown time, Shanaka. I'm fairly sure it would be hovering around the 80 to 90% of those penalties. So it's just those little things, if teams can practice and made aware to get over, it just helped their overall game, isn't it? And in the rush, it'll also help to speed up the game much more.
And this has been a relatively good game in terms of penalty count. But we've still seen, 23 penalties awarded, 12 and 9, so 21 penalties awarded so far. That's still a very, very high penalty count. I think international teams try and keep it below 10. Nice work from Sarat Chandra again. He's been outstanding in the line out, and Muthutantri just dances in to the heavy traffic. Rajapaksa. Kushan Indunil now, and Samuel Madhuwantha has been making breaks. Just ankle tap down in the nick of time. That was Satya Ranathunga now. Again taken in an important tackle. Rahul Delpachitra it was that time. Nishan Pereira now. Stepping in, stepping out. Lovely run by the winger. Manages to stay in field well. Nice angle from Nivanka Prasad that time. Jason Melder. Here's an overlap coming for CH. Gowda hangs on to it sensibly.
Advantage. Nick.
Another high tackle. Surya Rachi tries to snipe round the blind side, but that time they were alert to it.
No advantage,
and the referee
Nick,
coming back for that high tackle. And we'll be lucky. Havelocks will be lucky if they have 14 players at the end of this exchange. 15 players rather.
Oh no, sorry, it's you. On the line, on the line.
Reza getting a bit of a shove back towards his own teammates. And Prasad Madhushankar has recovered sufficiently from that crippling injury to yell at his teammates. And that's a high hit that the referee spoke about.
So step out. Thank you.
Nishan Pereira and Samuel Madhuwantha have been working well in those wide channels.
9.
Having a bit of a chat as to how they're going to score the next try. Sasanka Aryaratna also on the field. For CH, that's a good man to bring on at this stage in the game. Real terrier in the loose. Sarat as well.
Get off his neck. Advantage.
Technically very good jump, and the penalty is coming again. Surya Rachi goes over. Beautiful little step off the right foot. And the little scrum half continues that rich vein of scoring form.
You run the risk of a yellow card.
Largely fashioned by that monster pack in front of him.
Stay off his neck.
And with the fresh legs on, CHNFC have taken the lead at a crucial time in this game.
Just once again, Sudham at the back. You can see he looks right in front of, isn't it, Shanaka? Plays what's in front of him. Identifying that the fringe defense was non-existent. Just using his speed off the mark to just go over. And CHNFC once again have taken the lead. But again, it all started with them just spreading that ball out wide, isn't it? Just attacking along the wider channels. And so far, whenever that has happened, they have always looked very dangerous. And the Havelock's drift defense just hasn't functioned as well as it should.
Yes, it certainly hasn't, especially not in those wide channels. Madhuwantha and Nishan Pereira have been carving them up, making a lot of yards, which makes it difficult for those big boys to get across. And Madhuwantha misses the kick, which might be a crucial kick in the final equation, as it's still within 5 points, the win for Havelocks if they can get it. But CHNFC have scored at a crucial point. There's just 8 minutes left on the clock, and they've got some fresh legs on, especially with the likes of Sasanka Aryaratna making tackles around the ground. This is CH's game to lose from here. Muthutantri has put in a shift today. Not the general glamorous play that we're used to seeing him, but real good close quarter stuff. Dabare lets it bounce and it goes into the 22. Maybe bounced a little bit too far.
Keep coming out, Payne, keep coming out.
Mubarak was kept telling him to kick it, and now here's the man I was talking about, Sasankar Aryaratne. Lovely inside pass and good tackle made on Nishan Pereira by Mubarak, who stays down. And now CH on the blind side.
No.
Suryarachi gives it to Aryaratne, who started it all. Now CH have got their second wind, it looks like.
Play on, out. Play on.
And that's a lovely ball out, but
play on that. He was falling.
Not close enough. Madhushankar.
Off the leg.
He manages to throw the ball in field, but may have given it away in the process.
Hey, here to go back to the 5.
Holding on, says the referee, and that was really unlucky for Havelocks, but really good play from CHNFC to get as close as they did.
But again, it just started off from that poor kick by clearance kick by Chamara Dabare. Really need to find touch. So decision time for CHNFC. What will they do? Decide to go for the short tap.
Well, they're in the lead, so they can have a roll of the dice, which is exactly what they're doing. And from this close in,
hands up,
with the fresh legs off the bench, they're really going to have a go.
hands away, Peg.
They want
No
the bonus
hands.
point and they want the big win. Remember, CHNFC can climb up to second
I can't see, held up.
if they win from here onwards, but referee says it was held up, so another opportunity for the team from just across the road to get across the line.
CHNFC will definitely fancy themselves for a drive, for a 8-man drive here, Shanaka, but they need to be a bit careful when they go about it. The referee has been very strict when it comes to scrum times. So whatever option they take, the execution has got to be 100% accurate, because one more score here by CHNFC could very well seal the game in their favor.
He's good, let's go.
It's not been easy for guys like Satya Ranatunga as well, playing the full 80 minutes.
Boys, let's go.
Wonderful player in his prime. Probably not fast around the park as he used to be, but still very effective at scrum time and around the fringes.
Crouch.
He had a bad neck injury, Abdullah, which he has totally recovered from, which is great for CH as well as Sri Lanka Rugby. Watch Chatura Dilshan off the back here.
Before the game, we talked about not appealing. Don't appeal. Up we go. Reset. I'm going to
Referee having a chat to the pack leader for CH. That's Sudarshan Mudutantri, and the referee has now moved across into the outside channel, and those are Papare cameras capturing a happy crowd.
Crouch.
Some academy kids
Bind.
coming to watch this game, and this is how it all starts.
Stay there, 7. Bind. Stay, 9.
Surya Rachi in the face of Vimukti Rahula now. Good tackle. And Surya Rachi throws it long, and it's going to be easy, is it not? No, it isn't easy. And it's a miss from Avish Kali, who got one of his rare starts for CHNFC and had the line at his mercy, but dropped the ball.
It just shows the importance of the 3 quarters to run straight, Shanaka. From that first receive onwards, they were running across, so it's very hard to target the passes. We have a look at that once again. That's the phase created. That first receiver needed to have just straightened out.
As Lee receiving the pass from Chatura Dilshan, it was, who was out there in the backs.
Bind.
This is not the kind of place where you want your forward to be, especially that first receiver position.
Still should have been scored, and now Havelocks will try to run it from inside their own in goal. Probably not the smartest thing to do, but they need to keep the ball now. Chamra Dabare tries to get away from Nishan Pereira, who has his number. Nishan, the much younger player. So we'll have a yard or two of pace. And here's Gowda getting right in there and holding up the ball carrier. And it's a maul, which will mean that CHNFC will get this ball if it doesn't come out. Yes, exactly what happened there. And again, the physical strength of Adam Gowda there, holding up the ball carrier. And this is the difference he's brought to the CH side, Abdullah. And despite, and that's why it was crucial when he was off the field that CHNFC scored more than they did. And they desperately needed to get about 10 or 12 points on the board.
That's right, it was just a 4-point net gain when Gowda was off the field. You'd sense that Havelocks needed to have made better use of it. But unfortunately they didn't. So another attacking opportunity for CHNFC. Just about 1.5 minutes to go. One more score here would pretty much seal the deal from their point of view.
They're trying to keep it close, which is a smart thing to do. Nishan Pereira
no clear release.
Stepping in. So it's time now for us to talk about the player of the game, Abdullah. And a few notable performances from the CHNFC lads today. We've had Machis Sarachandra, who's been excellent in the line-out. At Mututantri and Prasad, who've been good in the loose as well. And Surya Rachi scored that enormously important try. And then, of course, Gowda and Pereira and also Nishan Pereira have been outstanding, as well as Madhuanta. So it's a very difficult one to pick today.
Yes, it most definitely is, Shanaka. I thought at the crucial stages, most of the CH players did stand up. But overall, just for the game management, the ability to just keep things moving, I think once again Sudham Suryarachi has been absolutely wonderful today. His decision making at crucial stages has been very good, and I think he would definitely be my man of the match for today.
Agree with you, Abdullah. So the little number 9, Sudham Suryarachi, who's wearing 21 on his back today, will be our Papare man of the match today. Scored a crucial try, and as Abdullah said, managed this game, which CHNFC were chasing for most of the match. Then once they got ahead, they needed to make sure they stayed ahead. And the little chips, the little pop passes, the long passes when they needed to come, Sudham Suryarachi has managed his outside backs really well today. And putting the game beyond a doubt now is Samuel Madhuantha. And that becomes the last score of the game, a 73-point match, so almost a point a minute. So everyone who tunes into ThePapare.com, everyone who comes to the grounds gets their money's worth. An outstanding bit of play from both Havelocks and CHNFC. A really entertaining match, well controlled by referee Lawrence Wilkinson as well. I don't think we can stress that point enough, that he has now overseen 2 outstanding games of rugby in CRNFC versus Kandy yesterday, and now Havelocks versus CHNFC, both finishing within a score of each other, and the officiating contributing in no small measure to that, along with the players who have been absolutely brilliant.
Yes, Sharaka, we've seen 2 very entertaining games, and the scoreline definitely reflects that, in no small measure to the officiating as well. Just coming back to Havelocks, you probably have to look at that point when Dushmanta Priyadarshana left the field, isn't it, Shanaka? From that point of view, Havelocks just seemed to be like a rudderless ship, not knowing where to go. The decision making was not as good as it should have been. You just have to question whether they just lost that bit of leadership that they have been fortunate to have with his presence on the field throughout this season.
I would agree, Abdullah. That was a turning point in the game. We saw it yesterday as well when Shahan Patirana limped off for Kandy against Sia, and Kandy's game just plummeted down into the depths from that point onwards. And although we have Riza Mubarak at the back, we have Niroshan Fernando, who is the captain, those forwards do need a leader, Abdullah. It's so important, and that's where I think they shipped the game.
Yeah, that's right, and especially when it's an inexperienced pack, as this Havelock's team more or less is. You just need that experienced player to guide you, an experienced player just to look up to, and I just think that once Priyadarshana left the field, Havelock's definitely struggled.
Well, that's the full-time score for you. 40 points to 33 on this picturesque racecourse grounds, and that concludes the weekend of Dialogue Rugby action. We had two cracking games yesterday. We had CRNFC versus Kandy, 26 points to 31, Kandy winning that one. And then we had 24-all draw between Army and Police as well. Here are the highlights of the second half. Lovely little offload there to Samuel Madhuantha, who is now scoring tries quite in addition to his kicking ability. Thumping the points over for his own try as well. And here's Riza Mubarak with probably the try of the game, knocking that one up right into the hands of Chamara Dabare, right on the opposite side of the field on the touchline. And a try made in Wellington, scored at Racecourse. And Mubarak knocking over the conversion, but it was to no avail as Madhuantha thumped over this penalty as well. Havelock's discipline began to lose them at this point in the game. This is where that driving maul, they conceded so many penalties with that couple of high hits. And Sudham Suryarachi scoring a couple of really important tries from very close in.
So we also privy to a very high class level of place kicking as well between Riza Mubarak and Samuel Madhuantha. Overall, the standard of place kicking has been very good in this Dialogue Rugby League. So 40 points to 23. All spectators today at Racecourse have definitely got their money's worth. It's been a wonderfully entertaining game.
That's the breakdown. We have 5 tries for each team, so 10 tries scored in this game. 4 conversions to Havelock's, 3 for Samuel Madhuantha in the CH colours, and the 3 penalties making the difference at the end of the game. Sudham Suryarachi, our ThePapare man of the match, chosen by us in the commentary box here for those 2 crucial tries at points where the game could have swung either way. And, we look out on this wonderful Independence Square complex, which is recovering after that frenetic 80 minutes. Air Force will play CRNFC next week on the 16th at Ratmalana. CHNFC play Army in what's going to be an interesting battle there as well. Army with their foreign player too, and Havelock's play Kandy. That's going to be for the decider of first and second place in this Dialogue Rugby League to head into the Super Round. We have Navy taking on Police as well, which also should be a cracking game with Police having their foreign player available to them as well. And let's not forget that we have some cricket going on as well. March Madness coming up with Isipatana Thurston is our first live coverage on the 22nd and 23rd of February. That's in a couple of weeks' time. And then March Madness starts proper with the Joe Pete, the Anand Anand, the Royal Thomian, and of course our big match on Jaffna. Another very old fixture with Jaffna playing St. John's, Trinity St. Anthony's, Richmond Mahinda in goal, and Kingswood Dharmaraja also up in Kandy. So should be a really entertaining month for all you cricket fans, and the limited overs versions of those big matches also coming to you live on the dates shown there. Don't forget to join us throughout the course of this week as we bring you our weekly segments. Join me on The Breakdown every Tuesday 6:30 p.m. and Rugby Pitya every Tuesday also at 6:30 p.m. that it will be released on thepapare.com. And our try of the week, a few tries from today's game for sure going to be in that segment. That's every Wednesday at 10:30 a.m. once we've trawled through all this wonderful live footage that will bring us. So that brings us to an end of our coverage here from the racecourse for this outstanding game. And it has been a really entertaining match today in the Dialogue Rugby League. From Abdullah Yusuf and myself in the commentary box, and for the rest of our ThePapare production team, thanks a lot for joining us this evening. We'll see you next week live and exclusively on the Dialogue Rugby League.
Crescent Mini Keeves. Try it. Love it. The original Mini Keeves only from Crescent.
Sophisticated selection of Yardley, London.
Crunchy munchy.
Fiery Kochi.
Crescent Kochi Bites. Try it. Love it. The original Kochi Bites only from Crescent.
Get with the global Pulsar Mania now and upgrade to the new and improved Pulsar 200 NS from DRL Motor Company Private Limited.
Six Nations 2019. Catch these formidable foes going head-to-head. On 9th Saturday, Scotland take on Ireland at 7:45 p.m. On 9th Saturday, Italy host Wales at 10:15 p.m. And on 10th Sunday, England beat France at 8:30 p.m. Live and exclusive on Dialogue Now, channel number 1.
Niloshi!
Ravindu hoya?
ජීවිතේ leasing, දවසින් leasing, NDB leasing.
And when its essence is premium cocoa butter, it's not just chocolate, it's Ravello. Chocolate so special, you call it Ravello.
Okay, she's ready.
Yes, I'm ready.
Impressive CV. But why do you want to work here?
Is your unlimited package limiting you? Be really unlimited with the largest network. Talk unlimited with more than 13 million Sri Lankans with Dialogue. Dialogue Blaster Unlimited. A range of monthly plans starting from 777 rupees. Dial #678# to convert your package or get a new connection.
It's always been my dream to be a part of a blue chip company.